how did Rudolph do it? I'm trying to make my nose light, but I guess I'm not that bright. Maybe the secret's in the House of Wooden Santas by Kevin Major. 10 days to Christmas. When Jesse woke, he was in his bed, but something was weird. Something was missing. He sat at the kitchen table, blurry-eyed, his hair bent in all directions. One look at his mother, and he remembered. "Where's the guy from yesterday?" His mother smiled. "Sold. Gone out the door. Money in the pocket." Jesse stared at her. "Really?" he said, trying not to sound surprised. "Called him Santa of times past. Reminded me of the Christmases we used to have." "Who bought him?" As if he didn't know already. "Your teacher. Last night. Must have heard about my carvings. He came by when you were asleep. Asked to see Santa. Bought him right there on the spot." Jesse looked away and finished his breakfast. The big number 1. "This is the start. I could feel it in my bones." Jesse didn't know what he was feeling in his bones. All during school that day, Mr. O'Donnell kept giving him odd looks, as if he knew he wasn't paying attention, just pretending to. "Jesse," he said after the bell had gone that afternoon, "so, your mother carved Santas?" "Yes, sir." Think she might come to class and talk about it? There's only 5 school days until Christmas holidays, and I was thinking, what could we do this year for a special treat?" "Probably she would, sir." "Don't think she'll mind?" said Jonathan. "She showed my dad, and my dad is very stubborn." Mr. O'Donnell smiled, as if the whole class had brightened. "Fabulous." As Jesse and Jonathan were leaving, he called out, "Maybe I'll phone her at home, if that's okay, or I'll drop by your house later, if that's okay." "Sure. That's what I'll do then. I'll drop by just for a few minutes, so okay? Perfect." Mr. O'Donnell's smile was brighter than ever. As the boys left the school, Jonathan said what was on both their minds. Mr. O'Donnell can be very weird sometimes. Jesse spied his bus. "See ya," he said. "Tomorrow, top secret meeting." Then he added in a heavy whisper, "OW, Operational Wenzel." Got it. At home, Jesse found his mother in her usual spot in her workroom. "Mr. O'Donnell said he might come by later." She put down her paintbrush. "Really?" Jesse was sure there was some excitement in her voice. He looked at her very intently. "What for?" she asked. "Who knows?" She glared at him. "Jesse?" He wouldn't say a word. She growled and threatened to pounce on him. He ran off. His mother scurried out from behind the table and chased after him. He raced to his room and fumbled at the door to lock it, but he wasn't fast enough. His mother forced her way in. She just about nabbed him when he squirmed away and darted off again. Out through the kitchen and into the living room, around the sofa, back the hallway, around and around, laughing and yelling at each other all the time. Once he slipped and fell flat on his rear. He thought for sure she had caught him, but he wormed through her legs, screaming wildly. Finally, she collapsed on the sofa. "I give up." The doorbell rang. Oh no. She tried desperately to get her breath back and look normal. "Jesse," she called. "It's him. He'll think we're crazy." Jesse appeared and sagged to the floor, exhausted. "You answer it. You. No, you." There was a loud knock. Jesse and his mother dragged themselves to the door together. "Hi, Keith. Mr. O'Donnell," his mother said, spurting out a laugh. Jesse gave her a hard look. "Sorry, we were playing chase. It was very funny. Mr. O'Donnell seemed rather bewildered. Uh, he wants you to come to school, Jessie said. His teacher nodded. To talk to the class about your work, if you're not too busy, that is. She looked at Jessie and then Mr. O'Donnell. She shrugged and said, sure, why not? Great! Anything for a laugh. She started to chuckle, but nobody else cracked a smile. Sorry, I've been in a silly mood all day. Mr. O'Donnell set a date for Thursday afternoon and left. Goodbye, Jessie's mother called as he reached his car. So long. See you then. Cheerio. She closed the door and fell against it and broke into laughing once again. Mom, you're cracked. I haven't had such a good laugh in months. And now Mr. O'Donnell knows you're cracked. Did I embarrass you? Yes. Oh well, she covered her mouth with her hand to hold the laughter in. When she had wiped her eyes for the final time, she wrapped an arm around Jessie and dragged him into the workroom. She grabbed the newest Santa with her free hand. All three of them fell to the living room sofa in a heap, Santa on top. A day should never go by without a chuckle, eh? Jolly old Santa. No matter what. That's why I invited you to this crazy house of wooden Santas, right? To keep us laughing. She handed him over to Jessie. He'll put merry in your Christmas and a happy in your New Year. Laughter bubbled inside her, then burst out. Crack, Jessie said. She placed Santa carefully on the end table. She raised her hands and wiggled her fingers over Jessie. Before he could squirm away, she got him in the ribs. All he could do was laugh and howl and laugh and laugh. Until tomorrow.